Boys, it is your boy Ayman Trades, also known as NQ Ayman, and we're gonna be going over something very important, and it's actually something that I haven't talked about with any of you guys in the community. I made it brought up once or here and there, but I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about my story and who I am. My name is Ayman, and I'm a day trader. I do trade futures. I've had experience with other markets as well. And when I was 15, 16 years old, I was super intrigued into trading, and I really wanted to become something, do something for myself and find a purpose. And I tailored that through trading in itself, right? So around that 15, 16 COVID time when Andrew Tate and all that stuff was like, super peak, I decided, I was like, you know what, I'm on it. And this started like 2022. So I started learning how to trade, and I dedicated my time and my life to learning it. And I started with stocks and options. And I first, invested in some mentors, and I found one who kind of semi-resonated with me, and I stuck with that person. I started trading options for 1 to 2 years, and I was making a good amount of money, but that kind of gave me that market experience that I needed to be where I am today. And when I was 18, and when I decided to, go from blowing live accounts, investing all my own money into trading, working a job, funding that trading capital to kind of be where I'm at right now. And when I turned 18, what I decided to do was, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull the trigger, and I started trading futures. I've been hearing about it a lot, and I was like, yo, I'm on it, I'm gonna take advantage of it, and that's exactly what I did. So when I turned 18, what did I do, right? I finally was legal enough to have an actual account under my own name. So I legalized everything under my name, live brokerages, everything. And the first thing I did was start with prop firms, and that prop firm was TopStep. And that was literally the click of it all, right? So while I was trading, I didn't really know what futures was, how it moved, because I was trading pure price action, key levels, during options. And then when I switched into futures, it was a whole different ballgame, right? And I got pretty relatively, quickly into it, but the way that I approached futures was with cocky ego-ness, and I went from, buying $50 accounts, blowing them, maybe getting lucky and passing an account, and technically just over leveraging, just blowing accounts, right? And this was the approach that I was taking because of my experience, I guess, in futures options. And I got humbled very quickly from the markets, as you guys can tell, right? So during that first month, it went from blowing so many accounts to end of that second week, third week, I decided to put my head down and lock in, right? After that first month, I was like, you know what? I'm locking in. I'm tailoring all my time to studying and finding some type of system or structure that works for me, and actually gathering data on the market, right? Because I was trading the market blindly without having no specific reason or ideology of why the market was moving. Neither did I know what confluences or why the market was moving. And this was the start of it all, right? From spending my whole mornings to pretty much forward testing in the morning, seeing my trades, seeing how it is, sticking to a strict regimen and system, and I pretty much just sticking to myself and my rules and my system, and seeing where I could tweak things and fix my psychological issues. And that's when I fell in love with the game, right? I decided to pretty much put my head down. I figured out a model. I put everything together. I constructed it. And I was like, all right, cool. This is what I'm trading. This is who I am. This is the kind of trader I am. I'm not a high RR trader. I'm not a low win rate or high RR trader. And I like the consistent base hit wins, right? Because those are the things that compound and add up. And I struggled to kind of take losses in a sense, because I would get a little bit emotional and hurt from it. So that's where I started pretty much just sticking to that 1-to-1, 1-to-2 RR, 70 to 80% win rate model. And when I had found that, and I had found everything that kind of structured my system, I was like, perfect. I know exactly what type of trader I am, and back tested hours on day, back tested years of data, and I was fixing each one of my mistakes that I was making. And one of my biggest mistakes was still ego, right? Tailoring from options was that ego approaching into futures, that ego that I know everything, that nothing could really hurt me and affect me to the markets. And that's kind of where that realization kind of grew on me. And I did pass my first account within that first month, and I actually did get my first payout after fixing those issues. After I got my first payout in that issues, after fixing those issues, and relatively pretty early, after blowing around like 50 accounts, that first payout pretty much got me back up around to break even. And I'm very grateful for that, because that showed me that I can truly take money out from the markets in the futures aspect. Once I took out that money from the markets, I realized my system, I realized everything I need to do. And shortly after that, from studying, approaching the markets, still blowing accounts, still not really being perfect because I didn't figure it all out, but I was still approaching it and I was still staying consistent to my model, right? And when I seen that success and I knew what was possible, it was really just showing up, staying consistent, making sure my life outside of trading was, I wouldn't say perfect, but it was good in the sense that it would reflect into the markets. And, it really paid off. And then shortly after, I think around August, was it August or September? I might have been September where I hit my first 5-figure month. And then shortly after that, my biggest month which was 40K. And going into this right now, I am in February or in December, that's when I actually moved out, but I'm 18 years old. And in December, I moved out in Miami in a high-rise apartment, as you guys can see, and I trade full-time and I teach people how to trade, and I kind of have students and I mentor people, but I really do it because I enjoy teaching people, and I don't want people to go through that same mistake and same issues that I went through, and kind of holding their hand and skipping them through that process. And a lot of people do have that kind of contradiction saying, oh, put the course in the bag, blah, blah, blah. And when I was 16, I had invested $3K into a mentor myself. So again, it doesn't matter about the courses, all this course selling stuff. You are investing to someone who's already done it and has spent thousands of minutes and hours, whatever the case might be, and thousands of dollars going through the same mistakes, spending their time and effort learning the hard way. And you're paying them so they can give you the guidance so that you don't have to go through that same mistake and same issue. And it's really the best thing that I could have done for myself, because I did save myself years and years of studying and learning, going through free resources on YouTube, finding free models, finding free strategies that supposedly work, to sticking to my system, to sticking to one system, a system that works and actually presents itself, and allowing myself to win and compound my wins and grow consistently every single month and every single year. And, that's kind of how I really approached it. And if you guys are young, if you guys are still in that kind of era and time, invest in yourself. And that is the best advice that I can give you guys. Invest in yourself and invest into someone who will help you and guide you to get there. All the rich people that I do speak with right now, they're spending 5 figures plus on someone to just guide them in certain aspect, right? Whether if it's taxes, whether if it's finances, whether if it's real estate, whatever the case might be, there's always investments going around, and it's always investing your time, because your time is literally money, right? Your time is money. So the more money that you invest into someone, you're gonna have more time that you're gonna have to yourself, and you're not gonna have to worry about it too much and go through that process. Now, again, kind of just a short brief explanation of who I am and what I do. And trading full time has been the best thing, and I really am super grateful for the opportunity. Now I get to literally trade every single day at my setup right here. As you guys see back here, we have my setup. We have the absolutely sick Miami view. I'll actually take you guys outside right now. But super grateful for this opportunity. This apartment honestly changed me in a sense where I can literally enjoy my life, live for free, Not literally live for free, but live like I'm free. I have freedom in my life right now. But sick Miami view right there. We have the city in the background. And yeah, we're mid-floor bosses, but my goal is to get to the top floor boss easily. And I'm gonna get there, right? Just with doing the same framework that got me here and just scaling it up. So super grateful for that opportunity. And yeah, let's see what this year has to present itself. And I absolutely love y'all boys, and I hope to see you guys win. I want to see every single one of you guys succeed, and I want you guys to lock in, because again, I'm no different than you guys. I'm 18 years old and I was able to achieve this, and I still feel like I haven't achieved much. And I really do want to scale up, and I still want to grow, and I want to max out every single stat I can in my life. So I love y'all boys, and I hope you guys, figure out, what you guys want to do, kind of guide yourself to success, and, grow yourself as individuals, because you guys are fully capable of doing this. So I love y'all boys, and I hope to see you guys soon.